Hello everyone, myself Deepa Singh, working as assistant professor in Suresh Gyan Bihar University. Today we discuss about drug distribution in your body. So in this topic mainly we covered how distribution takes place in various parts or how it easily cross with the help of barrier, and this topic we covered subject of biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics, 6th semester subject. And before starting this drug distribution, you know about this learning object. In learning object, first introduction of drug distribution means what is drug distribution and how it takes place, and difference between drug distribution and absorption, uh, different definition of a drug distribution and deposition, and different types of barrier responsible for drug distribution. There are different types of barrier after administration of a drug. The drug cross this barrier by the help of certain barrier like blood-brain barrier or any other barrier. So in this topic, you should know about all this type of a barrier. And next is factor affecting drug distribution. Which factor affect drug distribution or responsible for not uniform distribution of the drug? And next is a step involved for drug distribution with their significance. And which steps takes place by distribution process, and significance of this drug distribution, which steps or which step followed by this drug distribution. So in this first drug distribution definition, in drug distribution definition, once a drug enters in the bloodstream, the drug is subjected to the number of the process and called as deposition, and that tends to lower the plasma concentration. Means when you administer the drug or when the drug is received in your blood or bloodstream, and drug is further divided into different process or number of process, and this process mainly known as deposition, not distribution. This process is known as deposition, and then tends to lower the plasma concentration, and this deposition again further divided into two parts, that is distribution and elimination. Means when drug is comes in your bloodstream after absorption, and this process or during this process is known as deposition, and this deposition is further divided into two parts. One is distribution and second is elimination process. So we mainly cover the distribution process, not deposition process. And distribution, which involves the reversible transfer of the drug between the compartment. And distribution, drug is mainly reversibly transferred from one side to another side of, from one compartment to another compartment. No excretion takes place. All drug concentration goes in a particular site or particular part of your body, particular compartment, and that's why it is known as reversible transfer process between the drug compartment. And second is elimination. Elimination is just opposite to distribution. Elimination means excretion through your body or maybe loss of the drug, and in this elimination, which involves irreversible loss of the drug from the body, and it compromises biotransformation and excretion. And this elimination is further divided into two parts: biotransformation and excretion. Biotransformation is also known as metabolism, and excretion is also parts of the elimination. Means first you take a drug, and after taking a drug, absorption takes place, and after absorption, drug is reaches to bloodstream or various compartment by the process, and this process is known as deposition. But deposition is further divided into two parts, that is distribution and elimination. But distribution is a reversible transfer of the drug between the compartment or between the particular site. But in second definition, elimination, it's irreversible transfer or irreversible loss of the drug from the body, and this elimination is further divided into two parts, that is biotransformation and excretion. And this biotransformation is also known as metabolism, and this metabolism mainly two type of pathways are involved: phase 1 and phase 2. We discuss this by next lecture. And next is excretion. Excretion means completely removal of the drug from your body, and loss of the drug from your body. This is known as excretion. Means elimination is again further divided into two parts. It is biotransformation, excretion. And you just know about in this topic is distribution. Distribution means just only reversible transfer of the drug between one compartment to another compartment is known as distribution. Next content of this topic. In drug distribution, mainly we covered about definition, factor affecting drug distribution. In factor affecting, there's many types of factors that are responsible for drug distribution. categories. First is tissue permeability of the drug, organ tissue and perfusion rate, binding of the drug to tissue component, and miscellaneous factor. Means this tissue permeability is also responsible for improper drug distribution, organ tissue size or perfusion rate, how much drug is perfused or transferred to particular organ or tissue. And the next is binding of a drug to tissue component. In this, mainly different types of binding process we check, or on different tissue and organ, how much drug get bind. And miscellaneous means maybe patient-related factor or maybe any other factor, drug interaction or any formulation-related factor, are miscellaneous factor. And next is volume of distribution and significance. Volume of distribution means how much you distribute in your body, except excretion rate or excreted amount of the drug. This is known as volume of distribution. And next, last topic we discuss about significance. So let's start this topic one by one. First is definition. Definition in this drug distribution, we already discussed that it's a reversible transfer of the drug between one compartment to another compartment. And there's one compartment to another compartment means blood to extravascular tissue. Means after absorption, the drug reaches my bloodstream, and when drug goes to one compartment, from blood to another extravascular compartment reversibly, and this process is known as distribution of the drug or drug distribution. Next is significance. And significance, pharmacological action of the drug depend upon its concentration at the site of action. Means how much drug concentration present at particular site, or how much pharmacological response is observed at particular site is significant. And this distribution again play important role in onset of action, intensity of the action, and duration of action. Means how much action is observed or onset of action is observed, and with respect to the intensity, and how much duration is takes place or how much time is takes place for this distribution of the drug. All this come in significance parameter. And in significance mainly we check that how much pharmacological response is observed also into a particular site or particular amount of the drug concentration. Next is steps in drug distribution. In drug distribution is step formation of a free drug through capillary wall and entry to. It is again divided into two steps. And in first step, formation of the drug is takes place from free drug through capillary wall and entry into extracellular or EC. Next step, formation of a drug from ECF to intracellular fluid through membrane of the tissue in the tissue or cell. Means in first step, this distribution of a drug is further divided into two steps. In first step, first we check that this drug passes from capillary or enter to extracellular fluid, and after entering to extracellular fluid, this drug passes to intracellular fluid in second step, and intracellular fluid to tissue or maybe cell membrane. And this process is known as distribution. Means first, after taking the drug or after coming in bloodstream, drug passes to capillary wall or enter in extracellular fluid, and after extracellular it reaches in intracellular fluid of the tissue or cell. And these are the rate limiting step of rate perfusion to extracellular fluid. This extracellular fluid entering amount or process is rate limited because the perfusion is don't take place properly. Is a rate limited step. Second is membrane permeability of the drug. How much drug is permeate to that particular membrane? Because all drug not easily permeate or pass through that particular membrane. It requires certain type of a specific property or the specific character to passing the membrane, or mainly nature of the drug is also responsible for passing of this drug, because the hydrophilic drug shows some problem, or small large size of the particle do not cross the membrane easily. Next is distribution process. In this figure or diagram, we see that there is a different type of barrier according to particle size or type of the drug, which drug is easily passed. And in this diagram, you also see that process. Means in first step is drug passes from blood to cellular fluid. In previous slide, we discussed that two step. In first step, drug is passed to extracellular fluid, and this extracellular fluid is rate limiting step. And after drug reaches to extracellular fluid, it again passes to intracellular fluid by crossing the cell membrane or any other membrane. And in first step, there's capillary wall is responsible, and second step is cell membrane is responsible. Means from blood to ESF or extracellular fluid is known as first step, and in second step is reaches to intracellular fluid by the help of cell membrane, and this is the second step. And now we see that the drug those have a small particle size or less than 50 Dalton easily cross to this membrane or to capillary wall and reaches in the blood or at particular site. And next is if drug is lipophilic but particle size is 50 to 600 Dalton, it also easily cross the membrane. And it is show first process is passive diffusion. By the help of passive diffusion, it crosses cell membrane. Next is polar or ionized drug of size 50 Dalton is also crossed the membrane by the active transport. But the particle size less than 50 Dalton or drug having a hydrophilic in nature do not cross this barrier and do not enter this extracellular fluid. Means only limited amount of the drug is passes through extracellular fluid or through this capillary cell membrane wall. Drug only those who are 50 Dalton in size or hydrophilic in nature, having a 50 Dalton or less than 50 Dalton size can cross the membrane, or those drugs who are lipophilic drug or maybe 50 to 600 Dalton size is also crossed, and polar ionized drug also crossed, but there's a limitation that is maybe 50 Dalton or maybe approximate 50 Dalton or less than 50 Dalton can transport process or by the show active transport process, but lipophilic drugs show passive diffusion. Means there's no ATP or energy is required for lipophilic drug because it passes by passive diffusion process. Next is distribution is a passive process for which driving force is the concentration gradient between the blood and extracellular fluid. Means this distribution is mainly passive process, and this will say that it is mainly depend on the concentration gradient from blood to extracellular fluid, and the process occurs by the diffusion of a free drug until equilibrium is achieved. This process is continuously takes place until the equilibrium is achieved or completely concentration of the drug is reached to particular site. Next is distribution of drug not uniform throughout the body because this is plasma concentration at different rate to different extent. This is not fixed. It is depend on the different types of tissue, which tissue is taking that particular drug or plasma concentration also. In this first is these are the organ perfused and the blood flow, organ mass and normalized blood flow. In first liver, blood flow is 1700, mass is 2.5 kg. And normalized blood flow is mainly 680 ml per minute per kg, and in kidney is 1000 blood flow, and organ mass in 0.3, and blood flow is 3333, and in CNS blood flow is 800 ml per minute, and organ mass is 1.3 kg, and normalized blood flow is 615 ml per minute per kg. And in myocardium, that is blood flow is 250 ml per minute and mass is 0.3, and blood flow is 833. And next is fat. In fat, blood flow is 250 ml per minute and organ mass is 10, and normalized blood flow is 25, and other remaining tissue or other organ other than this above organ, including muscle or any other, this blood flow is 5400, organ mass is 70, and normalized blood flow is depending on the other tissue or other muscles. This is all about distribution according to blood flow. Next is factor affecting drug distribution. In factor affecting, first is tissue permeability of the drug, and tissue permeability is further divided into two parts, that is physicochemical property of drug like molecular weight, molecular size, pKa, partition coefficient, and second is physiological barrier to diffusion of the drug. And in the second factor is organ tissue size perfusion rate. Third is binding of the drug to tissue component, and this binding is further divided into two parts. First is the binding of a drug to blood component, and the binding of a drug to extracellular component. And the fourth is miscellaneous factor, and In the first one, we can say that tissue permeability is further given two parts, mainly their physical chemical property, means how the molecular size. And previous slide, we already will see that which molecular size is distributed across the membrane, and the pK nature or the lipophilicity or hydrophilicity, means partition coefficient, hydrophilic drug are easily crossed the membrane, and barriers, which barrier are responsible for distribution of the drug and how this distribution takes place. Next is organ tissue size and perfusion rate and binding to tissue component. In this, perfusion rate means the size or maybe blood flow is mainly responsible for the organ tissue perfusion. And in next, binding drug and tissue component means maybe two component are responsible. One is drug and second is extracellular component. And fourth factor is miscellaneous factor. In this, tissue permeability of the first physicochemical property of the drug is further divided into different types, like molecular size, pKa, partition coefficient. And next is physicochemical barrier to diffusion of the drug is again divided into different capillaries or different barriers. In this, first is simple capillary endothelial barrier, second is simple cell membrane barrier, and third is blood-brain barrier, then blood CSF barrier, blood placental barrier, and blood testis barrier. These all are the types of the barrier that are responsible or affect the crossing of the drug to particular site. In tissue permeability of a drug, first is physicochemical property. Physicochemical property, we discuss about molecular size, which molecular size is suitable for crossing the membrane or good for the crossing the membrane, and which are easily crossed the membrane. In this, we can see that molecular weight less than 500 to 600 Dalton easily pass the capillary membrane to extracellular fluid. Those molecules who have weight 500 to 600 Dalton easily cross the membrane, and the penetration of a drug to ESF to cell function is of molecular size, ionization constant, and lipophilicity of the drug. But these conditions is mainly dependent on the type of the drug or some molecular size. To reaches to extracellular fluid means those drugs who have molecular weight up to 500 to 600 Dalton, ionization constant, and lipophilic drug, or they are oil insoluble drug, are easy to cross the membrane. But some extracellular fluid to cross the membrane through aqueous channel need particle size less than 50 Dalton or small hydrophilic property, and large molecule restricted to require specialized transport system. Means you can say that molecular size up to 500 to 6 Dalton easily cross the barrier, but there's a certain limitation. Only lipophilic drug or oil soluble drug or ionized form drug easily cross the membrane and reaches to extracellular fluid to intercellular fluid. But those have a hydrophilic in nature or oil soluble in nature do not cross the membrane. Only those molecules which have a 50 Dalton molecular weight or less than 50 Dalton molecular weight cross the membrane and reaches to particular intercellular extracellular fluid due to their hydrophilic property. So this type of molecule requires certain specialized transport process and maybe change molecular size. Next is physicochemical property in this. Second is the degree of ionization or pK. The pH at which half-life of the drug is ionized is known as pK. In this, mainly half-life is ionized is known as pK, and weak acid become unionized in a strong acidic environment, and weak acid become ionized in neutral or basic environment. In different condition for acidic environment, if your drug is weak acid and it become an unionized. So in this, their condition requires a strong acidic environment, and if your drug is weak acid and it's an ionized, so it requires normally neutral or basic environment. And for weak base, there's also two conditions. If a drug is weak base and become an unionized, then it requires a strong basic environment. And same environment, instead of weak acid, weak base, it requires strong base. And for weak base, if required to become ionized, then it requires neutral and acidic environment. But pH of the blood and plasma extracellular fluid and CSF is 7.4 constant except in acidosis and alkalosis. But due to the pH or particular range of the pH, acidosis and alkalosis is expected in the blood or any other extracellular fluid. And the drug ionized at a pH that is polar hydrophilic drug cannot permeate the lipid cell membrane. In this, you can see also that hydrophilic drug show some difficulty or some problem for easily penetration of the drug or passes through the cell membrane. Next is OW permeability and physical chemical properties. So the third property, in this polar and hydrophilic drug are less likely to cause the membrane, whereas non-polar and hydrophobic drug are more likely to cross the membrane. In this, you can say that permeability issue is also seen for different type of a drug. Hydrophilic drug do not cross the membrane easily. It shows certain problem, and non-polar hydrophobic means lipophilic drug are easily cross the cell membrane. It's a formula: effective partition coefficient or Kw, oil and water constant, is equals to friction ionized at pH 7.4 into a constant OWO of ionized drug. And in case of polar drug, the permeability is rate limiting step in the distribution. The driving force is effective partition coefficient of the drug that can be calculated by above formula, and you can use this formula for calculating permeability of a drug or partition coefficient of the drug. Next is lipoidal drug penetrate through tissue rapidly. Among the drug are same constant OW, but diffusion in ionization of a blood pH, and which has a less ionization show better distribution. Those drugs who have a less ionization property show more distribution, good distribution. Example is phenobarbital, show more distribution compared to salicylic acid, and both are having a partition coefficient or constant OW, oil and water rate, but phenobarbital have more ionized at blood pH and highly specialized, less permeable to water soluble drug. Means both drugs are in the same nature or same property, salicylic and phenobarbital, but phenobarbital have a more ionized property compared to salicylic acid. That's why it shows more distribution or better distribution compared to salicylic acid. Next, we start different types of barrier or barrier how affect the distribution rate. In this first, we discuss about endothelial barrier. And simple capillary endothelial barrier, capillary supply the blood to most inner tissue, and all drug ionized or unionized molecular size less than 600 Dalton diffuses through capillary endothelium to interstitial fluid. Only drug that bound to the blood component can pass through this barrier because of larger size of the complex. Means this is a very simple barrier, or you can say that this capillary endothelial barrier is not show any problem when type of the drug. Almost all type of the drug passes through this barrier. Means maybe hydrophilic or lipophilic drug, both type of drug passes, and all drug may be ionized or unionized form also passes by this endothelial barrier up to 600 Dalton molecular size, and there is some problem or some component that cannot pass through, that is larger particle size more than 600 Dalton, or those who have molecular weight is more or do not pass through this endothelial capillary barrier. Otherwise, all molecule are passes by this barrier, maybe lipophilic or maybe hydrophilic in nature, ionized or unionized nature, up to 600 Dalton molecular weight. Only more than 600 Dalton molecular weight do not pass through this capillary barrier. Second is simple cell membrane barrier. In this, once the drug diffuses to capillary to extracellular fluid and is further entered into cell of the most of the tissue is limited. In previous slide, we already see that there's two steps. First is the drug passes from capillary to extracellular fluid, and then extracellular fluid to intercellular fluid by crossing the cell membrane. And this cell membrane, all drugs do not cross easily. There's also limitation for crossing this membrane or reaches to second step into extracellular fluid. And cell membrane is similar to lipoidal barrier like absorption. Non-polar hydrophilic drug will pass it positively, and lipophilic drug with Dalton 500 to 600 Dalton molecular size, and hydrophilic polar drug with less than 50 Dalton will cross this membrane. In this, you can say that all drugs are reaches to extracellular fluid, like passing to that capillary membrane, but all drugs do not pass the cell membrane because a certain condition is required. It is a limited process. After reaching the drug in extracellular fluid or entry into intracellular fluid, there's limitation, and this cell membrane barrier shows similar process for lipoidal barrier like absorption process. And those drugs who are lipophilic in drug are easily cross the barrier, and molecular size up to 500 to 600 Dalton easily cross this barrier. But there are certain limitation for hydrophilic drug. Hydrophilic drug do not cross the membrane because it requires certain important condition or molecular weight less than 50 Dalton cross this membrane easily. But if drug is in hydrophilic in nature and molecular weight is more than 50 Dalton, then it do not cross this cell membrane barrier. Next is blood-brain barrier. This is a very important blood-brain barrier. When we can say that your drug is required target to a particular site on the brain or into the brain. So your drug should require to cross this blood-brain barrier. In diagram, you can see that there is a different part of this blood-brain barrier. This first is extracellular fluid of the brain. Second is glial cell, and then basement membrane, than capillary endothelium. And when you take the drug is directly reaches to your brain, and there's certain condition is also required. If your drug is likely highly lipid soluble drug or maybe lipophilic drug, then it do not show any membrane problem or any issue regarding this formation of the drug. It directly reaches to your brain and without any problem. If drug is having a hydrophilic in nature or more molecular weight, then it do not cross this blood-brain barrier. It may be entrapped or stuck tight in the cellular junction, and it do not cross the membrane. Only lipoidal drug or molecular weight, small size is cross this barrier. Otherwise, it do not cross the barrier. Certain maybe modification is required. You change your formulation or use certain excipient which easily cross the membrane, or maybe you modify your drug to convert into lipophilic drug, so it can easily transfer the drug. So there is certain problem which show during transportation of the drug to this cell membrane or blood-brain barrier. And you can see that in this blood-brain barrier is also extracellular fluid, and glial cell is additional cell on this blood-brain barrier, just basement membrane and capillary endothelium. Drug is directly reaches to blood circulation or maybe into the brain. Those drugs who have a highly lipid soluble or lipophilic in nature. In blood-brain barrier, capillary in a brain is highly specialized and muscle less permeable to water-soluble drug. In this, there is a highly permeable muscle or permeable water-soluble drug can pass through this. And capillary are like endothelial cell tightly bonded with each other by intercellular junction. In this, there is endothelial cell is also present on blood-brain barrier. Junction, when you take the drug, it reaches to intercellular fluid, but there's needed to require to cross the endothelial cells which are tightly bounded. And next is astrocytes. Astrocyte is present at the base of endothelial tissue and acts as a supporting material, and it forms envelope around the capillary. This intercellular passage get blocked. Astrocyte is also responsible to show some problem for passing of the drug, because it is present on basement cell or basement endothelial tissue on the blood-brain barrier, and it acts as a supporting material. And it also develops one envelope or a cover itself like envelope, and due to this covering or due to this supporting material, intercellular that block the passage of that particular drug and do not allow the passage of the drug. Next is blood-brain barrier is lipoidal barrier. This drug with high OW or oil in water partition coefficient diffuse passively, therefore moderately lipid soluble partially ionized molecule passes through. Means those drugs who have OW partition coefficient cross easily without any problem or by the passive diffusion, but those drugs who have a moderately lipid solubility or partially ionized molecule cannot pass through this membrane or pass slowly compared to OW partition coefficient type molecule. And polar natural substance like sugar and amino acid transported to the brain actively and structurally, similar drug can pass easily to blood-brain barrier. You can say the type of drug is polar nature or polar like compound. If example take like sugar and amino acid, those type of a compound or drug are transport actively with similar structure or maybe similarity between the structure and easily cross the blood-brain barrier. And for passing of the drug through this blood-brain barrier, you can also enhance the permeability or maybe improve the permeability. by the certain property like permeation enhancer. When you add permeation enhancer or certain excipient of permeation enhancer, you can see that your drug easily cross the membrane of blood-brain barrier or easily permeate the blood-brain. Brain barrier. This drug is mainly used for Parkinson's disease. Means that if your drug is showing certain problem, then you can modify your formulation as well as their drug approach, like product conversion or maybe adding formation and answer. Or next is carrier system. If you use certain carrier, then in case your drug is also easily passed through blood-brain barrier. In carrier system, mainly use hydro or dihydropyridine, which is lipid-soluble nature, moiety redox system, and highly lipophilic and cross the blood-brain barrier. Means if you use carrier system, in this carrier system mainly use certain lipophilic drug or lipophilic excipient which have a highly lipid solubility. So when you use this carrier system, then your drug can easily pass the blood-brain barrier membrane. And this carrier system mainly use dihydropyridine, which are lipid soluble. Next is complex formation between drug and DHP. And in this, after entering the blood, in the DHP gets metabolized by CNS enzyme in the blood, and drug get trapped in the side of the brain. Means that complex formation takes place between the drug and DHP, and after it's enter in a brain or blood-brain barrier, the DHP get metabolized by CNS enzyme, and they're in brain and get trapped inside the brain. Means a specific required action is not observed when you take your drug without any carrier with the help of any this about approaches. It get easily excreted out. But you take your drug with this DHP. DHP is dihydropyridine, and you use DHP and means dihydropyridine and drug, and it form the complex, and the DHP get metabolized by CNS enzyme in the brain, and specific action is absorbed. Next is polar pyridinium, ion can diffuse the back of the brain. An example is steroidal drug. Mainly steroid drug is also used for this formation. Next is cerebrospinal fluid barrier. It's the fourth barrier. In this cerebrospinal fluid barrier, carotenoid cells is present. Next is tight intracellular junction is also present, and capillary endothelial and open junction is present. And you can say that that is CSF barrier, and this is extracellular fluid, and the drug is cross the membrane or maybe cross the ESF, having a specific property, and all the drug do not pass through this membrane or through CSF spinal fluid barrier. In this also there are certain conditions specific drug only pass by this membrane. In this first, you can see that your drug is highly lipid soluble or hydrophilic in nature, same to previous one barrier. You can easily cross this cerebrospinal fluid barrier, otherwise it's to certain problems. In this first is open junction. When you take your drug, all type of drug easily cross through this open junction, maybe hydrophilic or lipophilic, but it enter in ESF or extracellular fluid. Hair drug stay and do not cross this membrane or choroidal cell because it contains tight intracellular junction. These are the tight intracellular junction. To cross this tight intracellular junction or this choroidal cells require certain specific condition. Only hydrophobic drug or lipophilic drug can cross this membrane and reaches to CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. Other drugs having low molecular weight or water soluble nature do not cross the membrane. In this, you can see that drug it enters through open tight junction and reaches to CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, by crossing the tight junction and choroidal cells. And there's a capillary endothelium is also present on cerebrospinal fluid barrier. In this description part of cerebrospinal fluid barrier, capillary endothelial cell have a tight open junction or gap, so the drug can flow freely between the capillary wall and choroidal cells. And choroidal plexus, major component of the CSF barrier is choroidal cell, which join with each other by tight junction, forming a blood CSF barrier, similar permeability. Means in this point you can see that it, it say that all type of the drug can passes through this open junction easily, but drug do not pass through this CSF barrier or by this barrier because it contains tight intercellular junction. It's a certain problem for crossing this tight intercellular junction, but it can easily pass through the gap or between the open junction and the drug is just to in this extracellular fluid. And in this highly liquid soluble drug can easily cross the blood-brain and CSF barrier, but moderately soluble ionized drug permeates slowly. Means only lipid soluble drug or highly lipid soluble drug can permeate this blood CSF barrier, but your drug is moderately soluble in lipid or maybe highly soluble in hydrophilic or maybe ionized. It shows certain permeability problem or shows slow permeation rate. Next is mechanism of drug transport is similar to CNS and CSF, but degree of uptake may vary significantly. In this mechanism is same for CNS and CSF, but degree of uptake is maybe change or maybe vary. Next, fifth variant is placental variant, and this placental variant is also require certain condition, but this variant may be crossed easily all type of the drug due to maybe thickness or less thick of this barrier. But in this, you can see that it again divided into two parts. One in this here, maternal artery, maternal vein, and in this next is fatal vein and fatal artery, and between this there is a fatal membrane is present, and this fatal membrane is known as trophoblast plus endothelium cells, and the movement is takes place between this to here, and drug reaches slightly to fatal vein or placental barrier. Next and prescription part of this placental barrier. It's a barrier between the maternal and fetal blood vessels, and both are separated by fetal trophoblast, basement membrane, endothelium. Means the drug is passes by this placental barrier, maternal and fetal blood vessels, and both are separated by fetal trophoblast and basement membrane and endothelium cells. And thickness is 25 micron at early pregnancy, later reduced to 2 micron, and its effectiveness remains unchanged. Means if you can see that this membrane have a more thickness, but during pregnancy it reduces, and it found that it is very thin or maybe less thickness. Suppose thickness is 25 micron at early pregnancy, and later it reduced to 2 micron, even effectiveness remains unchanged. Means maybe starting pregnancy or before pregnancy it's 25 micron, and after that particular time it reduces and it may be converted into 2 micron, and the effectiveness of the drug or effective rate is also changed, or effect of that particular drug is also changed. So there's chances all type of drug can easily cross this placental barrier. So we can overcome this problem by taking certain precaution. And molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton and moderate to high lipid soluble drugs like sulfonamide, barbiturates, steroids, narcotic drug, and some antibiotic cross the barrier by simple diffusion rapidly. Means in placental barrier, all type of drug can easily cross, and molecular weight is up to 1000 Dalton. And we can say that in previous all type of barrier, only max to max is 600 Dalton molecular weight can cross the barrier. But in placental barrier, its capacity is increased. It take up to 1000 Dalton molecular weight easily crossed by this placental barrier. And mainly example is like sulfonamide drug, barbiturates, and steroid formulation, narcotic, and some antibiotic cross the membrane easily. And by the simple diffusion method or simple diffusion takes place in placental barrier. Next is essential nutrient for fetal growth and transport by the carrier mediator transport. If you can say that certain type of essential nutrient which is required for the mother during pregnancy, if you can see that this nutrition are do not cross by previous mechanism, in this certain carrier mediator is required, carrier mediator process is required to cross the fetal growth or transport to this placental membrane. And immunoglobulins are transported by endocytosis. if you give some immunoglobulins, then in this immunoglobulins transport by the endocytosis process and endophilium, or maybe myosinocytosis and phagocytosis takes place by endocytosis. And drug dangerous to fetal at two stages. First is advisable to avoid the drug during first trimester, that is fetal organ development, and some drug produce teratogenic effect, that is phenytoin, methotrexate, later stage pregnancy effect, physiological function like respiratory depression, and example is morphine. Means you can check before taking all drugs. Some drugs are dangerous for fetal growth, or maybe this fetal development in two stages, mainly first trimester. Fetal organ is developed, and certain drugs maybe show teratogenic effect. Teratogenic effect is effect mainly pregnant women due to certain type of the drug, or maybe certain toxic effect of the drug. In this, you can say that phenytoin and methotrexate, and similar to this type of drug also this teratogenic effect. And later stage pregnancy have a physiological function like respiratory depression takes place if mother is taking morphine like drug or morphine. There's respiratory depression takes place, and it also directly affect to that baby, or maybe directly affect to the fetal growth or fetal organ. So during pregnancy, you complete assure that particular drug is safe or not, or cross check that it is do not show any side effect or do not develop any teratogenic effect. Next is better to restrict all drug are during pregnancy. You can restrict all type of the drug, only take a limited or required drug, and also check all these drugs are safe or not for particular uh, that particular woman or during pregnancy. This is all about placental barrier. Next, last barrier or sixth one barrier is blood testis barrier. This is also important barrier, and in this also requires certain limitations, but it do not show more problem compared to any other barrier. These barrier not located at capillary endothelial level, but at cytosol cell junction. Means these barrier is mainly present at cytosol cell junction, and it is not present in capillary endothelial barrier or endothelial cell level. And mainly you can observe these at cytosol cell junctions. And it is a tight junction barrier between the neighboring cytosol cells, act as a blood testis barrier. And in this you can also say that it form tight junction between the barrier or neighboring cytosol cells, and act as a blood testis barrier because it shows certain tight junction. And these barrier restrict the passage of drug to spermatocytes and spermatites. Means this drug is also limited of passage of the drug or show certain restriction to spermatocytes and spermatites like barrier. This is all about blood testis barrier. And after completing this lecture or this topic, you know about this outcome or this complete overall information of this topic. So in this, after completion of this lecture or end of this lecture, you should know about introduction of drug distribution with their significance. Means introduction, definition of distribution. In starting slide, we already see that the distribution is reversible transfer of the drug from one compartment to another compartment, and significance is also covered. In this, different onset or incentivity of action or onset of action mainly covered. And in this, you also see that this distribution is on the reversible transport, but you can say that deposition and distribution are different processes. Distribution is part of deposition process. Deposition is divided into part, distribution and elimination. And this distribution is reversible transport, and elimination is irreversible transport. And this elimination is further divided into two parts. One is expression, and the second is metabolism. And next is different type of barrier responsible for drug distribution. We see 6 type of different barrier. So you know all these 6 type of barrier, and difference between these barrier, which barrier is more better, or which barrier require which type of a drug, or how to cross the membrane easily, and which drug are responsible for showing certain effect, or which precaution you take. So you know all complete information regarding the 6 barriers, including the particle size or the certain condition. Next is factor affecting drug distribution. In this, you know about different type of factor affecting. In this slide, we already covered this factor affecting. In this factor affecting, we discussed already physicochemical factor. In physicochemical factor, maybe pH, pK, lipophilicity, hydrophilicity means partition coefficient. All this comes in physicochemical factor. So, how factor affect this drug distribution, or which factor affect the drug distribution. Next is this difference between the barrier and how responsible for drug distribution. Now, how this barrier are responsible for drug distribution, or according to this difference, you can calculate which drug or see that which barrier is more easily permission barrier, or easily cross the drug through this barrier. So difference between all this barrier on type of the different barrier responsible for drug distribution. These are the references. References, first one is Brahmankar, DM Jaiswal, SP, first edition, absorption of a drug by pharmaceutics and pharmacokinetic, University, Balla Prakashan, Delhi, 1995. This is a very good book. Almost all topic or all barrier, including factors, are covered in this book with good content. Next is Sargil L. Entry, BC, fourth edition, physiological factors related drug absorption, applied by pharmaceutics and pharmacokinetic, Pinellas Hall International INC, Stafford, 1999. Next is Alton ME Biopharmaceutics, The Science of Dosage Form, Design, second edition, Churchill Livingstone. Next is Fabric J. Warren JC, Absorption Encyclopedia Pharmaceutical Technology, third edition, Marcel Decker, INC, New York, 1988. Next is Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetic by G.R. Chatwal. Next is Human Anatomy and Physiology by Topra. All these books are good. You can use them maybe in a combination of these books or maybe a single book according to your requirement. Next is question part. In question part, first is astrocyte, the special cell are present in placental barrier, B is blood-brain barrier, C is endothelial barrier, and D is semi-permeable barrier. And second question is biological barrier that include all except first is renal tubule, B is cell membrane, C is capillary wall, D is placental barrier. And in third question, reason of complicated penetration of some drug to blood-brain barrier. First, A is meningitis, B is high lipid solubility of drug, C is absence of hole in the blood capillary endothelium, D is high endocytosis degree in blood capillary. And fourth question is the drug type which microsomal oxidation is the most dominant. This A is lipid soluble, B is water soluble, and C is low molecular weight, D is high molecular weight. Next, fifth question is stimulation of microsomal enzyme can be A is require the dose increase of some drug, B is require the dose decrease of the some drug, C is a prolonged duration of action of the drug, and D is intensify the unwanted reaction of the drug. And sixth question, the rate of diffusion of the drug across the biological membrane is lipophilicity. Exam question is which tissue has the greatest capacity to biotransform drug? A is kidney, B is liver, C is lung, and D is skin. And the eighth question is the process in which some drugs stimulate their own metabolism is known as A is enzyme inhibition, B is autoinduction, C is product inhibition, D is autoconduction. And in ninth question, which one of the following drug diffuses easily to the membrane at gastrointestinal? A is chloroquine, B is aspirin, C is morphine, D is riboflavin. And in 10th or last question, which drug surface act as the identifier marker for antigen? A is peripheral protein, B is integral protein, and C is surface protein, and D is both peripheral protein and integral protein. All these are the questions regarding this particular topic, drug distribution, different barrier, including factors affecting. So you can solve this question and all this about drug distribution. So thank you so much for listening and watching this video, and thank you so much everyone.